we're not confident anymore. We are just lacking confidence in ourselves, lacking confidence in our creative ability. And that's what's been happening. People are literally copying and becoming copies of others and eventually just becoming nobodies. Good morning. It's 6 something. I should actually be in the gym today, but my back is killing me. Like, no joke, my back is killing me. It's hurting like crazy. Lower back. I think it's the weight I've gained. Every time I gain like a little more kilos, I start having back pains. And also, yeah, so I skipped the gym this morning. I'll probably go in the afternoon when my back warms up and feels better. But as of now, this morning I'm not going. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off not only because of the gym, because my whole rhythm gets into like a little shaky, but I went on one of the platforms I'm not gonna say, and there's a client I worked with, and this client was like a pain in my butt, just like I don't not that nothing was working, but just showing up on camera not happy and just like just a whole vibe. And I was trying to get this client into it, get this client motivated, and been doing that, and it was so tough just to get a smile off it. And the client was like, it's not gonna work, this is not gonna work, that, like, the whole time negative. And I'm like, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, give it time. And in week 2, week 3, because it was a 6-week program, and I charge premium prices for my work, because it's really getting into you, dissecting you, knowing you inside out. And but this client was just kept being so difficult. I was like, okay, I didn't know what it was that was off. And after we came out, what I do your positioning and a positioning statement and a whole direction, and I could see a bit of a smile and a bit of happiness when we're at the end. And this client was just so excited about it. And then the next day suddenly changed. I was like, I had no idea what was going on. I've never experienced this. So had no idea what was going on. And being the person I am, I'm just trying to please my client. I want you to be okay. I want you to pay me, but I also want you to be satisfied with the result of what you got. Like, I'm not robbing anyone. I'm trying to get you excited, and which this client was. But the day after, not so much, because the client was confused about, what to do. And so I gave the client extra calls, extra sit down, saying, do A, B, C, D, like exactly that. But there was just like doubt, and is it going to work? So I basically told the client, yeah, I can't help you with the doubt that you have inside. Like, this is that. Start here, do this, do that. Literally giving that person the exact steps to take. But still, no. So I had no idea. So eventually, the everything ended, and they had their product, or the service that I offered, they had that. So I did my end of the part. They paid me rightfully, so there's no problem in that. So this morning I went on one of the platforms, or a platform, and I'm not gonna say which one. And I saw that this client has, or is, not has, is using my exact methodology, because I do NICE, so they cannot touch NICE. Narrative, insight, connection, execution. Can't. But this client is using bits of it. So narrative is your story. The I is insight. This client is using that bit, leaning into story. So positioning themselves as that thing, but also doing my work, in which this client never started out doing my work. This client has zero experience in my work. And as you know, I've been telling you I've been doing this for how long? 15 years, 1 5. This client's story is that they have been doing what they're doing for 15 years. Oh my gosh. So basically they just like, this person just like literally copied me. And I think it comes from, and up front I said I'm pissed off. Actually, it's a bit sad, but it happens. And I'm not pissed off at that person. I'm pissed off at the time we're living in. We're living in a time and an age where people are very, very insecure. They're not confident in being themselves, not confident in being their creative self. They don't have that creative energy, that creative juice. So they have to copy because they think it's working for this one person, then it can also work for me. It's funny. Yesterday I was watching a YouTube video of, he's not a big creator, one of the mid level creators, I would say, and he talks about growing on YouTube. And he was saying that his videos that took off were the videos that took him like no time to create, and the videos that bumped were the videos that he put in all these energies and time. And he saw that not only with himself but also with other people, other people in that space of YouTube. And he was wondering what that was. So he dissected videos, checked it out, and he realized that once we get on like YouTube, we look at big creators. We look at the Mr. Beast, the Hormozis. We look at, bigger creators and their platform. But we forget that they have a major team that they're working with. We forget that because of this major team, everything is so perfect and, it's just great. So we try to imitate that. And instead of being our full selves, we become imitations, and we become imitations of that which is better. If someone has to choose between you and an imitation, obviously if someone has to, sorry, not imitation, if someone has to choose between the original and the imitation, nine times out of 10 times, they'll choose the original. Imagine this, you are going out to buy Nikes. Would you pick up the original Nikes, or will you settle with the fake Nikes if you could get both? Obviously the original Nikes. And that's happening all the time. The reason our videos that we make, that we're trying to make perfect on YouTube, and that was his premise, and I believe it wholeheartedly, the reason that our videos suck is because we're trying to make the videos, the thumbnails, everything look like Mr. Beast or someone else up there. But when people have to choose between us, who are not known, and a Mr. Beast, they'll always choose the original. They'll choose Mr. Beast. So it's best just to stick in your lane. And I think with this whole thing, we're not confident anymore. We are just lacking confidence in ourselves, lacking confidence in our creative ability. And that's what's been happening. People are literally copying and becoming copies of others, and eventually just becoming nobodies. And I was seeing this morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, literally, that person did not steal my framework because it would be too obvious, but stole my work method. And the problem here is I went through a full process with that person. So that was a 6-week process. So, and I had because I am a nice person, my framework is nice. Maybe I'm a stupid person, but I shared the videos of our conversations because, I recorded and I shared that so that they could look back up and learn. And so what this person probably did was just run AI through that, take all the questions that I ask and trying to, kind of copying their way up, which makes no sense because you're not me, okay? And I'm not you. We all have our skills. I have a certain charisma that I have. I have a certain empathy. I have a story which led me to this work. I, have certain buildups that make me different to do this work and make me capable to do this work, in which another person might be able to do this work, but doing this work from a whole different perspective. But it's sad. It is sad. So that's one thing I think, and I'm saying this as a professional, as an expert, as a creative, to you out there. Like, stick to your own lane. It might not be working now, and I'm telling this to myself because I'm guilty of it too. I came on YouTube having no idea. And if you go back to some of my earlier videos, you'll see that I tried the Mr. Beast thumbnails. I tried the thumbnails with the all those surprise thumbnails. I did. And eventually I realized it's not for me. And I've tried making flashy videos. You've seen that, like me, jump cuts, but it's not for me, because what I want to do is make videos. I don't want to become the best editor. I just want to make videos. And making videos, I mean, sit in front of the camera like this and talk. And occasionally make a vlog and show you around. I plan to do this today, but my back is hurting. I can't go to the gym. But this is what I want to do. I just want to show up, just woke up, wash my face, put some of this on, Vaseline, magic. This is magic to look okay on the camera, not ashy. If you're a person of color, you know what I mean. And yeah, just that. That is literally what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing. And it's not working. Like, my views are 50 max. Okay, in terms of a Mr. Beast or whoever, that's nothing. That's not even a drop in the bucket. So it's not working until it works, right? It's not working until it works, but now it's working for me. So it's working for me. Let it work for me until it works for everyone else. And that's the game I'm playing by. That's the game I'm playing by. And in some way, some people will say, for someone to copy you, it means you're doing something right. I think in this case, this client is just very not, very insecure in a way. Insecure, and I'm not saying that in a, throwing a shade, or no, I'm absolutely not. I think this client, or I don't think, I know this client is searching for their voice, searching for something to fill that emptiness. And the reason I'm putting it out there is that a lot of us are. We are looking over the fence. Like they say, the grass is greener on the other side. And it's not always the case. Sometimes the grass looks, it looks greener, but you might be having better grounds. You're just not putting enough water, not fertilizing it enough. Maybe you're not giving it enough sunshine. So look at your grass. What do you have? What are you working with? And do that. It's funny that I was watching, as you know, I do fashion design and make things. And it's also, in my case, I was, I bought sewing machines, and I'm sewing them. I love it. Like, you'll see that in the summertime when I start making clothes. But I just love it. Like, I love creating outfits and clothing. And when I started out, I was like, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, and it's not going to work because I don't have this, I don't have that. So I looked towards other fashion designers who had studios and who had everything to make their clothing. But it doesn't matter which tool you have. Like, the tools, I'm telling you, the tools don't matter. It doesn't matter. The tools don't matter. Work with what you have. So I'm giving this example because there's a kid in Ethiopia. You've probably seen him on your feed. If you're following any fashion content, he's blowing up. This kid, I think his backdrop shows like he has nothing, but he makes clothes from every types of materials, and these are the sickest designs we've seen in probably decades, right? This kid is obviously a talent, but he's working with what he has, and it's the bare minimum. So work with what you have, and I'm telling you this, but I'm also telling myself this, and I'm learning that now. Work with what I have, right? Work with what I have. focus on myself, focus on my business. And I started this video out, saying I'm pissed off. I'm not. I feel sorry for people, and not only that person, people who are within the creative space, trying to survive in the creative space when they are lacking creativity, and they feel that they need to copy someone else. I feel very sad for that. So if that's you, please don't. Lean into what you have, and do that more. Do more of that, and build with me. Like, I am building, literally. I had it in my banner yesterday. I'm building. I don't know what I'm doing, and what I have now are just pictures of me, because I don't know where this ship will strand. I spoke to Claude yesterday, and Claude told me to lean more into my strategy, talk more about my strategy on here. I can do it lightly, which I did today a little bit, just telling you a little bit on that topic, on topic of creativity, putting yourself out there. So in that way, I'm going to throw it in a little bit. I wasn't planning on this. This is not scripted, by the way. But I spoke to Claude, and Claude told me that would be a good idea, because it gives me security over my framework. And as you can tell, people can, whether you put your stamp on it, people can still steal the idea behind it, and that's what the person stole. So yeah, that being said, another thing that I learned, which I learned quick, is people will steal your time shamelessly. They won't only steal the things that you do, your creations, but they will steal your time. I got my time stolen on LinkedIn a lot, and it's my own fault. I had, in my under my headline, you have like a button. You don't have it anymore. The blue button is what they call it. But I had like book a clarity call or whatever, and people would just book these clarity calls and sit in the call. And the way I am, I give a lot, so I'll just help them. Again, maybe I'm not a very smart person or just too generous. So I would just give my time thinking, okay, I'm helping that person with A, B, C. And, when I do that, maybe they'll become my client for D, E, F. That was my thinking. But in ABC, I didn't realize they had so much, like my value, the value that I have for ABC is just so much that they didn't need DEF. So they left with ABC. And I had that happen multiple times, like literally, I must be a donkey. As the saying goes, I don't know if it's in your part of the world where you're watching this, but there's a saying that says a donkey doesn't hit his head on a tree or whatever more than 2 times. So after 2 times, I don't even know if the saying goes like that. I'm messing up the whole saying, but it comes down to don't make the same mistakes more than once or more than twice. But I made the mistakes way more than that. I made that specific mistake often, but I learned from it. And you can make mistakes as long as you learn from it. And I learned from this one. I realized that my time is valuable. So when I get on a call, if we talk about A, B, C, even if we only talk about A, it's so valuable for that person. And I made sure that people will pay me for my time. That's it. So on YouTube, it's a messy middle. It's messy. I'm generous in just yapping, putting all, my mind out there. And if you're watching and if you like, and by the way, if you like these videos, it will really help me out if you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and if you comment. Like, commenting really helps. So if you're feeling me in these videos, please comment. I often forget to mention it, but if you're out there listening, I'm a very small creator, so please help me out. It would help me tremendously. Okay, so I know that if I give on these calls, it's valuable. So what I did from now, and maybe you're watching this, maybe you're on LinkedIn or on another platform where you're just giving value and you're seeing that you're not getting anything in return, I want you to know this today. Your time is your greatest asset. And you've probably heard this before. It's not the first time you're hearing this. But your time is your most valuable asset. You can't get back time. Literally. When you were 18, you can't go back in time and relive 18. So far, I know. I don't know if they are back to the future machines, but so far I know, you cannot get back your time. Your time is something that you cannot get back. So knowing that your time is your greatest asset, treat it as such. Treat it as your greatest asset because it is. It is your greatest asset. And with that being said, I realized that I can't be so freely with my time because even though I'm generous, even though I'm a nice person, people don't care. People are, yeah, ratchet in that sense. They don't care. They'll take that time. They'll take that time. Even if they're not bad people, they'll take that time thinking, oh, it's the same. Let's go back to Nikes. If you're on the street and you're walking and suddenly you see like 50 boxes of new Nikes and you're not alone, there are other people. Everyone is going to rush to grab a box, even though it's not their size, it's not their color. They actually can't use it. People do not care. They see something new, they see something that they think in their mind they could profit from or get or just get, they'll grab it. That's the human nature. That's just literally how we are. So we'll grab everything we can take. And including your time, people will grab everything that they can take. Even if you're teaching something that they might not need right now. You see it all the time where someone has like a free, like a free PDF or a free something, sign up and get this PDF for free. Those, what do they call it? I forgot the name. But anyways, you've seen it. You've seen it multiple times. People literally just put in their email, sign up because it's free. They might not need it, but because it's free and they don't have to give anything, so there's no money and they don't have to give anything but just click it and their time, they'll take it. And that's the same thing with calls. So I keep switching position because my back hurts. But if you are doing anything of a service, a product might work different, but if you have a service and you have free calls or anything free, know that your time is your greatest asset and people should give you something in return for that. You can choose whether you want to do it for free, but I decided I'm not. I'm not doing it for free. My calls are paid calls from now on, and that's that. And whether I get 0 booking or 20 booking, I don't care. I know and I value my time because people will sneak that in. So yesterday, someone approached me, all that to tell you that I learned from it. Yesterday, someone approached me in the DM on LinkedIn saying, hey, love to chat and talk and about, see opportunities or whatever, the way they framed it. And what I did, I just looked on their LinkedIn profile and I checked, is this person beneficial or is this person my ICP or is this person my client? Is this person a potential client of mine? In this case, it was not. So for me, it makes no sense to get on a free call, by the way. It makes no sense because what am I gaining from that? And yes, you can say, okay, you never know. Yes, you never know, but I do know. Because I've hit my head on the same tree too often. I do know. You get on these calls and it's them just, picking your brain. And if you can get benefits on both sides, yes. But if not, for me, it made no sense. So I kindly told the person that, I kindly declined. I just said, I'm just very busy and I respect my time. And I think you should respect your time as well. And I respect your time by telling you these things. That's another thing I'm learning with this YouTube. Like, I have to respect your time also. So I'm hoping that you get something out of these videos, whether it's entertainment, something you're learning, inspiration, motivation, skills in I don't know what way. I hope if you're still watching that you're getting something from this, because I do want to respect your time. And in saying that, I want to dive more into my frameworks, dive more into practical things like what I just mentioned with be mindful of your time. People will copy you and steal your things. I do want to dive into that more. And forgive me if it's not perfect, because I'm still learning to form what I want to make on this platform. If you want something that's already ready and there, check out my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is, I've been on that for a while, so it's more structured and it's more leading towards other things. And if not, sign up for my newsletter. That is free. You get weekly newsletter every Tuesday at noon. It comes out. It's not very long, because I personally don't like very long newsletters that you have to read. So mine is, I make it maximum between the 600 and the 650 characters. So they're very short, very practical, and you get a takeaway. So sign up for that. It's free. The link is in my bio. It should be under this video as well. And yeah, that's it. That's basically it. So I'm gonna leave you with this message saying your time is valuable, and believe in yourself. Believe in your creativity. Your time will come. Don't copy. Don't copy others. With that being said, I'll talk to you next time. Peace.